Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Justin at WinkSound.com. I get a lot of questions about vocal production, whether it be recording or mixing vocals, and I haven't really done a tutorial on it because it's kind of a tricky subject, and I don't want to give you guys a half-assed tutorial because I can't really give you definite answers. What I can give you is some tips, a checklist, a guide list, so to say, to take into consideration when you're recording and mixing your vocals. So let's get right into that list. First thing on the list is whatever vocal you're working with, whether it be yours or someone else's, you want to pay attention to the characteristics of that vocal. This is really important because it'll help you choose the mic and the mic pre combination, and it'll also help you when you're mixing. It'll help you compensate for anything lacking or too much on those vocals. You could grab your EQ and your plugins and really, tame those crazy highs or crazy lows, or compensate for a lack thereof. Really, really important stuff. Okay, so next thing is basically mic and mic pre. You want to have a couple different mics and a couple different mic pre's that you could do some experimenting with to see which combination gives you the best reproduction, the most accurate reproduction of that vocal. A lot of guys think you need a U87 and an Avalon mic pre and you're automatically going to have great vocals. That's not always the case. Sometimes the SM57 is your best option. For me, all of my tutorials are recorded with the SM57 through an M-Box, and I think it sounds good, and I'm really happy with that, so you got to do some experimenting there. Continuing on with the list is you want to isolate the vocalist, the mic, from as much outside noise as you can. A lot of guys are working out of their apartments, myself included, your room, and you don't really have too many options. So really experiment. One time I, put two mic stands up pretty high and draped a, winter comforter over it. Put the mic under there and the, vocalist under there. Created kind of a teepee, and that helped me. I got a pretty good isolated sound there. Use your closet. Put a bunch of clothes in there, pillows and blankets and stuff to kind of deaden the space. Like I said, experiment with what you got. Continuing on with the list. You're ready to record your vocal or somebody else's vocal, and you're recording them. Best thing to do, this is kind of the only definite thing I could say what you should do is record multiple layers of that vocal performance. This is how people get very big and dynamic and wide vocals. Especially if you're working with a singer, you want a bunch of different harmony parts to layer on top of each other. Another reason why you want a bunch of layers is because you could add effects to all those different layers without affecting the main vocal, things like that. Another technique you can take into consideration with utilizing those layers is parallel compression. A lot of guys use this with drums. They'll take all of the drums, send them to a bus, and really compress the hell out of those drums. So now you got like a real compressed version, very hard-hitting version of those drums, but you have the open and dynamic drums to mix together. So you have all the note definition there of all the drum hits, but you'll still have a very open and dynamic drum sound. So try this with your vocals. It might really work for you. So once you've got all your layers down and the best performances and stuff like that, what you want to do is start to EQ, compress, and pan those vocals. You want to utilize panning so you can create a wide vocal, pan them across the stereo field. You want to use compression depending on what kind of vocal you're working with. If you're working with a more aggressive vocal, you want to do some hard compression, some some fast releases, to really maintain that really aggressive attack of the vocal. If you're working with a singer, you want to do more slow attack, slow release, to so you don't cut off those dynamics of that singer's vocal performance. Then next, what you want to do with the EQ is kind of create separation between all those layers. If something's got too many lows, cut out the lows and then cut out the highs of another layer and combine those two layers together. And this is great because you could focus on certain frequency ranges of that vocal performance with the different layers, and blending them all together really give you a very solid and big sounding vocal performance. And then you want to add some effects to kind of spice up that vocal. You want to captivate the listener. Most listeners pay attention to the vocal and they want to sing along, so add some effects so they don't get bored. and things like that. And that's pretty much, a list, a tip guide that I could give you guys. If you guys have any tips or things that you do to get really good vocal sounds, leave a video response or a comment or something like that. If you have any more questions for me, justin@winksound.com, email me. Maybe I'll direct you to some more sites that could help you out, or, I'll have something else that'll pop into my head that I could, give you to, help you with your vocal production. Yeah, that's about it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hope to hear from you guys soon. See you guys later.